Hello, folks. Good evening. Good morning. Good night. Whatever part of the world this video is reaching you. I'm just sending greetings and salutations to you. I wanted this to be a walk and talk type video, but we've been getting a lot of rain. It is what's considered the rain season over here. I think it lasts until October. So yeah, you get a lot of rain. The rain normally comes either in the evening or at night, varying degrees of rainfall. That about 2 nights ago we had some really it was like monsoon type rains. But the good thing about Cambodia, it kind of sits in the sweet spot, so we don't get a horrible storm like the Philippines and a couple of those other places. Yeah. So I titled this one. The United Nations in Cambodia, right? So the reason I did that, when you travel out in these Asian streets, you're gonna interact with a lot of people that don't look like you, don't have a lot of your philosophies and stuff like that, and some of them do. That long and the short of it, you're gonna run into a lot of people from all over the world, and since Cambodia is really a country that's known for its hospitality and rich culture and stuff, it's becoming more like an international community. And people, like I said, from different cultures and stuff like that. And one of the best ways to get along with a lot of the expats and stuff you meet from all over the world is to just keep an open mind and just remember that, like I said, people have different cultures and stuff like that, different mannerisms and stuff. That's going to be different from where where you're coming from. If you guys see me looking down from time to time, I wrote a couple notes and stuff, so I'm gonna try and make it not look so obvious, because my memory is not what it used to be. I like most of my videos, I try and do stuff off the top of my head, because most of the stuff, most of the ideas, it bounces around in my big head up there, and I try and relay it to you guys in the best way I think I can do it. Hopefully, like I said before, hopefully some of the stuff resonate with y'all. So yeah, one of the best ways to get along with international friends and stuff is go out with people, and like I said, keep an open mind and stuff. Sometimes you're going to be forced to learn new phrases and new words and stuff like that, and some of those things are going to take a while for you to understand, but also not thinking of where you left or where you came from is better than anyone else's area. Don't come here with a superiority complex of wherever you're from is better than someone else's place. You're gonna piss people off really quickly with that if you come with that attitude and stuff. So yeah, I wrote down a few things, my old school notes. Yeah, so like last night we had a big powwow at one of our favorite bars. If you come here, there's a place called Sun Bar, and it's on BBU Road. I'm gonna give Sun a plug. She's a good gal. She's a local Khmer. She's just a ray of light, and a lot of expats hang out there, and Khmer's as well. A lot of Khmer people hang out there. It's a good cross section of people. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes it gets down into politics, and then usually someone will throw the white flag up and say, "Hey, we didn't come here for that," and usually divert the conversation to something else. So yeah, but like I said, the other night we had a nice cross section of people. We had most of the guys was from Britain. We had some, British guys. Got a guy from the Netherlands. A guy from Tunisia and stuff like that. And we were just all there. One of the benefits of talking to people is because, especially if you're a traveler, if you're not someone that's you're here just to retire and just not go anywhere else, right? If you're a traveler and stuff, a lot of times when you're sitting and having conversations with people, a lot of these people, they'll give you insights of places they have already been, and a lot of times the knowledge they give you is very invaluable because they have been there. And a lot of times the knowledge is recent knowledge. So just like last night, there's a guy, he loves Da Nang, Vietnam, and there's a guy already going to Da Nang, and he asked him, what side of Da Nang you stand on? And the guy says, oh, I'm staying on this side of the river, because I guess there's a river that goes through that peninsula up there, wherever it is. And he says, no, that's not the good side of the river. You need to be down in this area, wherever that area was. But it's little stuff like that. You get these little gems from people. And a lot of times, if someone has stayed in a particular place for a long time, they can tell you what's a good restaurant to go to, how you get the best deals on groceries, just little details that a lot of travel guides might miss out. Or sometime a travel guide might have been written several years ago when a particular information was relevant, but maybe that information is no longer relevant anymore. Maybe a cafe is not there anymore. They might have knocked down the cafe to make a condo somewhere or something like that. Those type of things can happen, But best information you get is from people with boots on the ground, with their, pulse, with the, they have, like I said, boots on the ground. Yeah, so one of the things I like to go ahead and talk about again about keeping open minds is, like, I tell you, while I've been out here, I've been surprised. You may look at somebody and think that that person fits in a certain box, and you're like, oh well, this person is from an Arabic country, so they must all think like this way. Or this person is from France, so they must be snobbish. Well, okay, that's not a good example. No, I'm just joking. All my French people that I hang out with. One of my best friends here, English guy. Well, he grew up in England, but then moved to Australia and stuff like that. If he's looking at this, he knows who I'm talking about. Man, this guy has a freaking amazing knowledge about hip hop and the origins of rap and he's not that I'm not big into that stuff like that. I know some of the mainstream rap guys like the Jay-Z's and the Biggies and Tupacs and all that, but he's like a savant with this stuff. And in his former life, he was a very successful business person back in England and stuff. And you would never expect, if you saw him, you would never think he had and was so devoted to the hip hop culture and what is it, garage and all those genres of music that's over there in England and all that stuff. And I've learned stuff from him, tell you the truth. So yeah, don't expect to be amazed and expect a lot of your ideas that you might have had about certain people and stuff is going to get really, it's going to upset the apple cart, like they say. You're really going to be amazed by some of the people that you meet. Like I have another friend as well from Tunisia, and he's a big basketball guy, and he could tell you what happened at a certain game in 1980 or the finals of 1990 and who played. He's one of those guys, basketball nerd. But a devout Muslim, but we hang out together and I learned so much from him, like in his area, he's telling me, I've read in when I did history and all that stuff about the area of what is it, Carthage? I don't want to misquote. Yeah, I forgot that Tunisia was Tunisia's what's called Tunisia now was Carthage when they had the wars between them and I think it was the Greeks. But I have to correct me if I'm wrong about that. But he's telling me that even in his area that he lives in is so old. They have found so many old relics and stuff, and of course it's illegal to freaking dig those stuff up and not tell anybody about them. So yeah, that type of stuff. Or like I have a good friend from Liverpool. Oh God, I have a hard time understanding their dialect the way and I understand other people in England have trouble understanding people in Liverpool as well. But I still go. He has some of the coldest beers in the city, Lee. So yeah, so just that type of stuff, man. The other thing is when you a lot of times if you look, I don't even wear a watch anymore. I just realized that the other day I don't really find the need to have a watch on anymore when you're retired. So I would hear a lot of times people will say, okay, a function starts at a certain time. And what happens is the people that have been out here the longest, they won't arrive on time. Like if somebody says, oh, something starts at 7, most of the guys that's been here a while, they know that means 7 means 7:30 or 8 o'clock. We're not really sticklers for time once you've been out here and you're retired and stuff like that. Like for me, I know during the week, there's certain tasks I want to accomplish during the week. One of the tasks I need to be going to the gym a little more. I've been slacking on my gym work. Um, Sometimes that's just with the motivation and stuff. Little certain things going on, But I'm gonna get better with it again because I've got, man. I tell you, I've got to lose this. I'm getting this midsection here. Oh God, that's why I'm giving you this this portrait shot, this fat passport photo shot. Yeah, man. But I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. The good thing is I can eat healthy out here cheaply. I can eat, I buy fresh produce and stuff every day. I got my favorite vendor in the market that, she gives me local prices. She smiles every time. She knows when I'm coming, she usually knows what I'm going to get. That's another thing. Once you're out here and you start interacting with people that have already beaten the path before you, you learn certain tricks. They'll tell you, okay, only buy your fruits at this place. Okay, don't go to the big store, the main market with the Western goods. Don't only get certain things in there. Yeah, things like that. It's just like all that stuff is really it's valuable information, and you won't learn it until you actually get here and start getting with some good expats. Because some people, there's some that I'm gonna tell you the average ones I meet are pretty much good people. They're I would say since I've been here, maybe 10%, maybe 10%. It may not be 10%. 5% of the people I've met are idiots. I can count on one hand the amount of idiots that I've met. But generally, everybody's been kind of like, really, really like same mentalities. All of us kind of have when you come this far away from your home country, away from your family and stuff like that, there's something in our DNA that's different from a lot of other people outside that we left behind. And, again, man, like I said, it's very good. Just keep an open mind. It's imperative to keep an open mind. Like when I first got here, at the bar, we used to have, we'd have the DJ wars, I like to call them. Some of the guys like to listen to rock and roll. So then, once they get in the bar first, you'd be hearing a lot of rock and roll. And then, it's so sometimes we'd have a little animosity, but nothing major, not things make us want to get the blows or nothing. But so then when we put on maybe sometimes some old school R&B and something, they'd be getting irritated with them. And I'd be like, listen, hey man, it's just our turn now. Sometimes they make snide remarks like, oh, is that even music and all this kind of, that's having closed mind, because I tell you, my music taste is eclectic. They know that by now. I've listened to I know some good country music. I know some good, I know some good R&B. I know some, but my main thing I like is, soca, calypso, and reggae, because that's my background, that's my roots. So that's the thing. So again, just keep an open mind, man. Like you might be at your favorite bar, and then it's someone else's turn. Don't be a dick. Just sit there and endure the music, and then enjoy the conversation. If you don't like it, go outside or do whatever, or go to another bar, find a bar. Believe it or not, there's a heavy metal band here. I mean, a heavy metal bar here. It's owned by some Japanese people. I haven't gone into it yet, but I'm gonna make it my business to go. My good friend Chris, he used to be big in the music business back in USA. He's been prodding me to us. Hey man, he tells me about everything every night. You'll never be bored here in Siem Reap. There's always something to do. You can find something to do every night. We got a couple of bars and stuff that's open 24 hours. I know Duckmark on the river there. They're open 24 hours. They got pool tables and nice cross section of people that goes through there. And I think Cheers is another one. So if you're a night owl or when you first get here you can't sleep because you're still jet lagged, there's stuff for you to do. There's a lot of stuff for you to do here. And don't talk about, if you're a history guy, temple guy, man, there's a lot of temples in this country. There's some books about this thick. There was nothing but tell you where all the temples are. And once you get your second, if you do your retirement visa, if you do your second retirement visa here, you can get the special anchor pass that gets you into all the temples. Yeah. Next thing I want to do is go and do this. There's I think it's the popo rats that they use to it helps. It's these big rats. I think they're from Tanzania or something. One of those countries. I forget. But these rats, they use them to sniff out landmines. And if you know what happened here, this Cambodia got carpet bombed during the Vietnam War. What would happen was a lot of the pilots weren't allowed to fly over. I think they weren't allowed to fly over Thailand with the bombs or something like that. And what they would do is they would to make the plane lighter or stuff like that. They would drop a lot of those bombs here in Cambodia. And so you still have a lot of unexploded ordnance and stuff. People getting limbs blowed off and everything like that. And no one, I won't get into the thing, but they never gotten compensation for that, helping clean up those mines. There's still a lot of land, unusable land that hasn't been demined yet. And that's another sad story, so it's a lot of things, man. But so these rats can detect those landmines underground, and then they bring a landmine team in that will come in and diffuse the mine. So that's a good thing. I haven't gone to that yet. I forget how much it costs. I don't think it's that much, but that's another good one that can be on your list. So that's the other thing. But and then there's as far as food and stuff, you have a lot of we're getting a lot more international restaurants. I know today I'm going to there's a Ghanaian restaurant supposed to open up today, so I'm looking forward to that. Their food is a little similar to our my Caribbean style food, so hopefully their stuff is authentic. So I'm going out there today with a group of guys, group of good friends. You know, a young lady from North Carolina, and a couple other people that just come in. So yeah. So that's the other thing. So I'm not gonna go on too much longer about this. What I as in summary, just it's good. Just keep an open mind about stuff. Always good to keep an open mind. Don't be closed-minded. You know. And I'm not one to, you know, in fact, it sounds like I'm preaching or anything like that. That's not my intent to be preaching. It's like you need to. It's good that to try and you know, you don't want to come out here and then kind of wallow in a lot of the maybe bad ways that you had before or whatever. Or even if you do want to do that, I'm not one to tell you not to do it. I'm not a big teacher or anything like that to tell you, say or guru to say, hey, do this, do that. You know, no. It's I'm just saying you might be limiting yourself in, you know, with the potential that you may have. You may have a potential, and when you kind of just surround yourself with like, okay, I'm going to only hang out with only Americans or only Aussies or only Brits, you know. Oh, which reminds me, I have a list of things here that you may hear these words in passing, especially from the Brits. It took me a while. To understand some of their the dialect they use, some of the words they use. You may hear them say quid. Quid just refers to pounds. You know, like the British, you know, the British pound, you know, the money. They say, oh, it's 5 quid, or you know, 3 quid. That's what they mean, pounds. And they may say, if you hear them say, oh, are you taking a piss? Are you They say that a lot. Oh, you're taking a piss. That doesn't mean you're taking a piss. That means you're having fun at someone else's expense. You're making a joke on somebody. You know, you're ribbing on them. You know. And then there's another one, bender. Oh, he's on a bender, or I was on a bender. That means you got really drunk. You know, you were really drunk. And then, of course, you know, mate, they'll say, hey, mate, how are you? You know, mate, that's buddy. And then bloke, say, oh, that's a bloke. That's, you know, that's a man, you know, your buddy. And that's like a buddy, too. They say, oh, that drunk bloke. That's what that means. And the Aussies, man, I haven't even really I haven't gotten a lot of their slangs yet, but I know there's an older guy, he was saying, oh, that Sheila, who's Sheila? This Sheila. I said, what? And Sheila, the older ones would be using something like that. The Sheila is a girl. It means just a girl or a woman, that Sheila, they call them that. So that's the ones I can remember from, you know, in the French. I don't know a ton of French, but one of my best friends out here, he is from France. So I haven't gotten to know a lot of that stuff yet. And my ear hasn't, you know how the English and the Aussies kind of sound similar. I haven't trained my ear to understand the two. Sometimes I can pick it out by certain stuff they say, and I know, okay, that's an Aussie, you know. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it right there. I hope this didn't bore you too much, but it's just some stuff that was on my mind, and I'll keep them coming. All right, just make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, and you know, if it brings you value, I thank you. You know, if it doesn't, like I said, thanks for still listening and stuff. More will be coming. I'm updating a lot of the older stuff that I have on my GoPro. It's probably like a freaking maybe 200, 300 videos on there. I've been working through them a little bit. Okay, so all right, y'all. Have a nice day. Okay, peace.